Shalom. All praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh, Ba'asham Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to you, sincere Arkham. So, this is the book of John, the third chapter from the first verse. There was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus, a ruler of the Jews. The same came to Yahushua by night and said unto him, Rabbi, we know that thou art a teacher come from the Most High, for no man can do these miracles except thou for no man can do these miracles that thou doest, except the Most High be with him. Yahushua answered and said unto him, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of the Most High. And Nicodemus said unto him, How can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter the second time into his mother's womb and be born? Yahushua answered, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born of water and of the Spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom of the Most High. That which is born of the flesh is flesh, and that which is born of the Spirit is the Spirit. Okay, so the reason why I read that is going into the title of this video: wisdom, mother, sister, and wife. All right, because what is going on? Because I was meditating on this exact precept. Our Lord Yahushua telling, all right, the high priest, that in order to receive the kingdom, you have to be born again, and not just born again as in born again physically or born again in the flesh, meaning that you go into your mother's womb and born again. That's not what it's going into, but it means born again in the spirit. All right, your inward man has to be renewed. Okay, because when you come into this truth, you realize that we're not dealing with the carnal man, we're not dealing with the outward man, we're not dealing with this flesh suit that we're in. If anything, if anything, dealing with this flesh suit that we're in has gotten us nothing but trouble and destruction. So what we're dealing with is the spirits, all right? So when we talk about being born again, we're talking about being born again in the spirit. And how are you born again in the spirit? By getting this wisdom, making wisdom your mother, okay? And then you get born again through that way. Because we always go into this, that wisdom should be the principal thing in your life. And even the scriptures tell you that. So let me go to that. I guess that would be my first precept. All right, Proverbs 4. I will really start from verse 5. Let me get it. Proverbs 4, verse 5. Get wisdom, get understanding. Forget it not, neither decline from the words of thy mouth. Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Love her, and she shall keep thee. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. Okay, and that's basically what that is going into. And elders, brothers, we're always going into this. That wisdom, is your first wife in this truth. That wisdom is the most important. That wisdom is the most important thing in this truth. Okay, because the most important thing in this truth is this truth. Right? You can call it the truth, you can call it wisdom, you can call it the knowledge, understanding, right? The spirit, whatever you want to say. But that is the most important thing in this truth. That spirit that gives us this knowledge of the breakdowns, the prophecies, and that fills us with the fear of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Right? Because even that in itself, the spirit was God gave that to us. Because you have a lot of our people out here that don't even fear the Most High. All right? Because if they did, they wouldn't be talking about how God is all love. They wouldn't be focused on the prosperity doctrine of Wakitaki Christianity. But we that are in this truth, because we have this gift of wisdom, because we have made wisdom, okay, to be our woman, okay, the primary woman in our life, taking the role of a mother, the role of a sister, the role of a wife. Now we have this understanding. Now we have this truth. Everything is within us, okay. And now we have the most important, okay, woman in our lives, which is wisdom, because wisdom is a spirit. Let's get that out of the way first. Wisdom is a spirit, and it's not an actual feminine or female spirit, because that's going off, okay. But it is likened unto a woman, okay, because that is part of the deep dark sayings in the scriptures. All right, wisdom isn't a female spirit that's just a female spirit or anything like that. But wisdom is rather just likened unto a woman, okay, because we that are in this truth as men of Israel, men of the Lord, we are supposed to love wisdom, love knowledge, love understanding, the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, this truth. the way you would love a woman, all right? The way that because the other always go into this. There are a lot of things that a man would do for a woman, okay? At that time, how does it go again? Even the scriptures talk about that men have gone to their wits' end for women. The same for this truth, man. You should love this truth the way you love a woman, okay? This truth should be you're the number one woman in your life, then your wife, then your daughters, then your sisters, and just your family members. But the main thing is this truth, okay? Because that's what will grant us eternal life. That's what brings us to the presence of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So let me get some precepts real quick, just going into it because I was meditating on the book of John, the third chapter, from the first verse on down, going into Nicodemus. All right, okay, let me just go back there. All right, let me go back there. John, the third chapter. And this is what actually inspired me to do this lesson. So I was meditating on this. And when he was asking about being born again, they made me realize that wisdom is basically our mother, okay? Because when we are coming into this truth, and what it means to be born again is born again in the spirit. Renew your mind, okay? Cast out the old man, all the thoughts that you had all the thoughts that you had in the world, all the doctrines that you had learned, all the dogma that you had learned from Christianity, from your family, from your mother, from your father, and focus and learn anew, okay, learn through the spirit of wisdom. And basically what that is you are being I'm thinking about the word to use, but basically are being remade into a fetus again spiritually in the womb of wisdom, and then you are getting that nourishment straight from the tube, the umbilical cord, which is basically this truth, and that's how you grow, right? You start with the milk, then you get the meat. That's basically the growth in this truth, grow from from a baby to a child to a man. And that's what being born again is, accepting wisdom as, accepting this wisdom, eating the whole roll, taking this truth, digesting it, learning it, and then afterwards being able to teach it. There's a reason why Esau Edom calls his institutions, the universities, they call them the alma mater, which is basically the nourishing mother. But the true nourishing mother is wisdom, okay? So now the precepts. So this is the book of Wisdom of Solomon 7, verse 7, and it reads, Wherefore I prayed, and understanding was given me. I called upon the Most High, and the spirit of wisdom came to me. That's James 1, verse 5, I believe, right there. If any man lack understanding, let him pray to the Most High, who giveth liberally and upbraideth not. So you have to get to that because the book of James is one of my favorite books in the scriptures. So this is the book of James 1, verse 5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High, that giveth to all men liberally and upbraid not, and it shall be given him. All right, so that's basically it. So and this is going into the story of King Solomon, how the Most High came to him and told him that he wants to that's or he's going to get it let me just go back to that. Okay, so the Most High came to King Solomon and told him that he wants to bless him and that he should choose whether he would have riches beyond anything that any man on the earth has ever received, or whether he would have rest from his enemies, or whether he would have a long life and live a long life. Okay, and what King Solomon chose was wisdom, okay, the wisdom to guide the Israelites. And that is how he became the wisest king. And the Most High still added all those other things to him. So that should show you right there that just having wisdom gives you long life, gives you riches beyond imagination. And it also gives you the head of your enemies, because part of the blessing that King Solomon received was peace on all sides. Okay, nobody came up against him, nobody attacked him, nobody tried to make war with him. He had continual peace throughout his reign. So that shows you right there everything that wisdom can bring to you, and all you need to do is just to accept it. And the wisdom that we're talking about here is not the wisdom of the world, because there are various types of wisdom. Okay, the right hand wisdom and the left hand wisdom. And the right hand wisdom that we are going into is this truth. Okay, this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that the Hebrew Israelites are out here on the highways and byways teaching you, bringing out in these videos, the sit downs, the camps. This is what we're trying to make our people to understand. So now, back to the precepts. So okay, this is not Ecclesiasticus, it's Wisdom of Solomon. I want to get back to the precepts. Wisdom of Solomon 7, verse 7. Wherefore I prayed, and understanding was given me. I called upon the Most High, and the spirit of wisdom came to me. I preferred her before scepters and thrones, and esteemed riches nothing in comparison of her. Neither compared I unto her any precious stone, because all gold in respect of her is as a little sand, and silver shall be counted as clay before her. I loved her above health and beauty, and chose to have her instead of light. For the light that cometh from her never goeth out. And this is it right here, telling you exactly what it is concerning this truth, man, concerning the wisdom from the Most High, the right hand wisdom, because it's an everlasting wisdom. Okay, it's wisdom straight from the mouth of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So that's something that you should be considered more important, more precious than anything else, because this is the guide, the guide to life. Okay, the secrets, passcode, and that's the damn thing. That's the most ironic thing right there. The secret, the passcode, the cheat code the cheat code to life in this world, the cheat code to living the perfect life in on this earth has already been given. But look at how many people are actually regarding it, are actually seeing, that cheat code, man. The most are already giving you the cheat sheet, basically, by the way of this truth, the cheat sheet to life, man. So not just and then prophecies, and then the breakdown, and then the understanding. Okay, everything is out there. That's why the scriptures talk about how the Most High, I believe that is Isaiah. That's why the scriptures talk about the Most High declaring the end from the beginning. I believe that is Isaiah the 46th chapter. All right. So now continuing from verse 10 now. I loved her above health and beauty, and chose to have her instead of light, for the light that cometh from her never goeth out. All good things together came to me with her, and innumerable riches in her hands. That's what I was talking about, okay? That once you get wisdom, other things will be added unto you. Seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High and his righteousness, and all other things shall be added unto you, right? The same way it was added unto King Solomon, it is the same way it will be added unto us, okay? If we seek wisdom first and foremost, okay, the principal thing right there. So continuing from verse 12 now. And I rejoiced in them all, because wisdom goeth before them, and I knew not that she was the mother of them. All right, so wisdom is so wisdom is the primary what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, in the basically, if you consider the material things, wisdom will be the primary thing to gain, because through wisdom you can gain every other thing which you seek. Okay, and that's why going back to the title, that's why going back to the title, the importance of this wisdom, the importance of putting it before everything else. If you liken, because as the scriptures likened this wisdom unto a woman, then you treat wisdom the same way you would treat a woman that you love greatly. Okay. How does it go again? How does it go again? The princess in the course it talks about how the tender and delicate woman that's so delicate that she would not lay her foot on the ground. The same way that you would treat wisdom, and that delicately, okay. They'll pamper. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to. That's what I'm thinking about. When you love a woman, you pamper her, spoil her, give her all the best things that you can, that your money can afford. And it's the same with wisdom, man. You focus. It's the same with wisdom. You put all your focus, all your attention on her. Or when I'm speaking about wisdom, once again, to make it clear, I'm talking about this truth, man. All your attention, all your focus on this truth, okay. And then just make this disclaimer. That doesn't mean I'm telling you to just put 100% of your time on this truth and only be focusing on this truth. Okay, you still have to participate in the world. Okay, we are still a part of it. We are still how do you go again? We are of the world, the circular of the world. We are in the world, but not of the world. That's a precept. We are in the world, but not of the world. We still have to use the world, but not abusing it. You still have to go out there. You still have to make your shekels. You still have to go out there, earn a living, in order to eat, in order to take care of yourself, right? But at the end of the day, it is all about wisdom, Akia. And they are quite listening as well. So continuing on, now let me get this precept as well. Proverbs, the book of Proverbs, the 7th chapter, 24th verse. Proverbs 7 verse 4. Say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman, that they may keep thee from the strange woman, from the stranger with which flattereth with her words. And that stranger is going into the strange doctrines. So now they are focused on, focus on wisdom, so that you won't get swayed, okay, by every single wind of doctrine, right? You won't be ignorant of Satan's devices. You won't be taken or deceived by any falsehood, any false doctrine, any strange doctrine that is being brought out. Once you have the wisdom, knowledge and understanding of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, nobody will take you out of that position, man. Nobody will be able to deceive you with any other thing. So now let me get another precept, just because this is basically the lesson, just bouncing from precept to precept, going into wisdom. And I just wanted to just get a few, because if you know how it is in the scriptures, man, because of how important this truth is, how important with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is, it cannot be stressed enough. And of course, the scriptures goes all into it. So we're just going to just bounce around some few, just bounce around from precept to precept. The Hebrew of Scotch that we're so famous for. Just going to bring out a few. Wisdom of Solomon 6 verse 12. Wisdom is glorious and never fadeth away. Yea, she is easily seen of them that love her, and found of such as seek her. She prevented them from that desire her, in making herself first known unto them. Whoso seeketh her early shall have no great travail, for he shall find her sitting at his doors. To think therefore upon her is perfection of wisdom, and whoso watcheth for her shall quickly be without care. For she goeth about seeking such as are worthy of her, sheweth herself favorably unto them in the ways, and meeteth them in every thought. For the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline, and the care of discipline is love. And love is the keeping of her laws, and giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption. And the laws of wisdom are the laws of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So that's true love right there, okay? Because if you say sin is transgression of the law, guess what? Love is keeping the law. Because what does the law tell you? Love Yahweh Hashem Yahushua with all your heart, with all your mind, and with all your soul. And love your neighbor. You know what? No, I have to get that precept. All right, I have to bring that out. Straight from the words of our Lord Yahushua. I got to bring it out. So this is the book of Matthew, the 22nd chapter. And I'll start from Matthew 20, the 22nd chapter from the 35th verse. Then one of them, which was a lawyer, asked him a question, tempting him and saying, Master, which is the great commandment in the law? Yahushua said unto him, Thou shalt love Yahweh thy power with all thy might, with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it, Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets, and that's it right there, okay? Because the two things that you should put your heart to, that you should actually show love to, is written right there. Show love to the brotherhood, okay, which includes the sisters as well. Show love to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai first and foremost, and then show love to the brethren. What else is there? Okay, because we as Hebrew Israelites are only focused on our people. Even Yahweh Hashem Yahushai the same way. He's only focused on his people. Okay, the same with us. So we're only focused on the brotherhood, and anything outside that is so. All right. because as the scripture says that we should try and be at peace with all men. So that doesn't mean that you just start treating anybody that isn't in this truth like shit, but rather the most important things in your life. Okay, the Most High, how about Shim Yahushai? You love him, and then in brotherhood you love them. What more else is there? So that's love right there. Love is the keeping of the law. And on those two commandments that the Allah Yahushua gave us, hang all the law and the prophets. That's showing right there that love, true love, real love, not that shit you see in the movies, not that romance bullshit that you always see on TV. Oh, the love of my life, fucking soulmates. No, this is true love right here. Keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Ba'asham Rachak Wadash Brataza, Lord willing I be a part of the elect, that I may be able to, that we may be able to get those new bodies to do this perfectly, to actually show true love. That's a lesson right there. But anyway, and that's basically the precepts. So let me go back to Wisdom of Solomon, the sixth chapter. So yeah, Wisdom of Solomon, the sixth chapter. I think I've gotten everything I need to get from there, but let me just make sure. Yeah, I've gotten everything I need to get from there. So let me just, get another precept in the book of Ecclesiasticus. Right here. Book of Ecclesiasticus from the fifth verse. Okay. So this is the book of Ecclesiasticus 1, and I'll start from verse 4. Wisdom has been created before all things, and understanding of prudence from everlasting. The word of the Most High, the word of the word of the most the word of God Most High is the fountain of wisdom, and her ways are everlasting commandments. To whom hath the root of wisdom been revealed, or who hath known her wise counsels? All right, that's basically going. That's basically it. Okay, wisdom. This truth, the understanding. Okay, is the word of the Most High. Because now that we are in this truth, now that we have the understanding, we know more perfectly than anybody else on the earth the word of God. And when we go out there to the highways and byways, what do you think we are saying? We are prophets, okay? We are prophets, okay? That's I believe that's Amos 3 verse 7. So okay, I can't I don't Oh yeah, yeah, okay. Amos 3 verse 7. Surely Yahweh of power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants the prophets. So whenever we speak, and even the scriptures tell you that, brethren, when you speak as the oracles of the Most High. And what that oracle means is we are the mouthpiece of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. We are his mouth on the planet Earth, because his secrets are revealed, his thoughts, his intent, his word is revealed through the prophets. We are the ones that are bringing out the will of the Most High. We are the ones that are bringing out the word of the Most High. That's why when we go out to the highways and byways, that's why whenever the Most High in the scriptures, whenever the Most High is about to lay down a major prophecy, it always starts with, "Thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Lord," every single time. Because it is the word of the Most High that is prophecy right there. The word of the Most High that the prophets are bringing out. All right, so now let's get back to that Ecclesiasticus. Lesson is getting me a little bit excited, right? Because this is something that is, you know, I've been meditating on for a while, just realizing how important wisdom actually is. And it's important to put it in every single aspect of your life. So you don't just apply wisdom only in this truth, but you can even apply the wisdom in the world. You can apply the wisdom in your work, in everything that you do. And you will find it delivering you from a lot of situations, man. Because I can't count how many times just, you can't count how many times in your personal life when remembering the laws, remembering what's written up in the scriptures helps you avoid so many dangerous situations, man. All right. I'm trying to think of a good example for myself, but I don't really interact with people that much. And hey, that's another thing right there. I don't speak to people too much, and that's in the scriptures. That a wise man, how they'll speak to them few words. Okay, a wise man speaks a few words. That's in the scriptures. That's part of wisdom. That's part of the wisdom right there. You have wisdom. You don't deal in wickedness. Okay, you avoid yeah, that's another precept right there. You avoid wickedness, okay, like a filthy garment, menstruous cloth. So like, yeah, menstruous cloth. So continuing on, I want to jump down to verse 11. The fear of the okay, no, that's not what I want to bring out, but it's something I want to actually read because that's also going into wisdom. The fear of the Lord is honor and glory and gladness and a crown of rejoicing. The fear of the Lord maketh a merry heart and giveth joy and gladness and a long life. Whoso feareth the Lord, it shall go well with him at the last, and he shall find favor in the day of his death. To fear the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and it was created with the faithful in the womb. All right, and that's it right there because the smartest thing you can do, okay, and I think I've said this before, the smartest thing you can do as a man, a woman, a child, okay, whatever type of Israelite you are, Judah, Benjamin, Issachar, Zebulon, the smartest thing you can do is to fear Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, because that right there is the pathway to wisdom. Once you fear the Most High, you understand the duality. The apostle Ariana just did a video about that. I already know the apostles don't miss. Right, the video was hit. But anyway, but anyway, the duality of the Most High, both good and evil, and you know just how creative Yahweh Bashim Yahushai can be when he's bringing down that judgment. So now you fear the Most High, okay? You keep the laws, and you show your love to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai by keeping the laws, by putting action into your faith, putting works into your faith, and then you get the rewards of the wise, okay? You can go into some pieces about that. Okay, let me get that. Because let me get that. I can't remember the exact precepts. Let me just type this. Here it is. Psalms 37, verse 25. So this is the book of Psalms 37, and I'll start from verse 23. The steps of a good man are ordered by Yahweh, and he delighteth in his way. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down. For Yahweh upholdeth him with his hand. I have been young and now am old, yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. He is ever merciful and lendeth, and his seed is blessed. And that's going into the rewards of basically that's going into some of the rewards of the righteous. And I just wanted to bring this one out first and foremost. All right, because the righteous will never be forsaken by Yahweh Bashim Yahashai. Okay, and we already know the rewards of this righteousness. Okay, we inherit the kingdom of the Most High. Going into let me get that precept in that's Matthew the 5th chapter. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Okay, yeah, it is. So I'll start from verse 5. Matthew 5 verse 5. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Okay, I'm gonna want to get it right here. Matthew 5 verse 10. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my name's sake. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. Okay, and that's going into the rewards of the righteous, that we receive the kingdom. And they that have endured, we shall inherit what? Wives, lands, riches, you name it, cattle, slaves, okay? And that's true riches right there. Where you can see that's true riches right there. Okay, being able to put people into slavery. So I'm going to end the lesson right there. So with that, I'm giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Acha, Padash, Wa Abad Babal. And through the Spirit, I hope you Akim, you acquired, were edified. Shalom.